All right. So I'm excited because I have 100 subscribers now. Thank you for subscribing. I'm gonna show you how to water your orchids. Usually, you can find them at grocery stores just like these. That's where I found these. And a lot of people have a lot of different ways that they water their orchids. I'm gonna show you, based on my experience, what's the best way to water your orchids at home, and it's pretty simple to do. All you need is basically your sink, and don't mind my dishes there. But so the first thing I want to show you, I want to get right to it. I don't have a lot of time. My wife and my kids are about to get home from the grocery store. So I'm gonna show you how to do this. All right. So first off, when you buy your orchids, you usually get them in a ceramic pot like this, for looks. Looks nice, right? But these pots actually can help you when watering your orchid. Why? Because so this is the grower pot, and this is a ceramic pot that I'm talking about. So it helps you water these orchids because, as you can see, it doesn't have a hole in the bottom, therefore the water doesn't go through. And I'm gonna show you, I think a couple of these might need water already and the others don't. So see this one, I wouldn't water because the root is green and there's some weight to it. And then also you can see that the bark is still pretty dark because it's wet, it has moisture. Let's check this one, same story. Now that white stuff on there is a fungus that feeds on decaying material from the bark, so you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't go after the orchid roots. So um here's another pot that there's some moisture to it. Green roots, which is pretty good. And let's check this one. So yeah, it seems like I'm only going to water one. Okay, so it's this one right here. So this one, as you can see, the color of the roots is more white than green, just like the area roots that are out here. See that? So when they're about the same color, that's when you want to water. And I want to show you something pretty neat. So these orchids naturally grow in. Oh, I should have got rid of this. It looks pretty ugly here. So take it out. So these orchids usually grow on bark trees, in nature, on the bark of the trees. So that's why the companies use bark as the medium for growing orchids. And what I wanted to show you here is, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of water, so a few drops in my finger, and I want you to see something. So see this root, it's white. As soon as that drop hits the root, it turns green. So it's hydrating, even from the aerial roots. So imagine that exact same thing is happening underneath, right? So the way you water is, you place your plant in the pot and you want to fill it. Now make sure you don't use really cold water. That's why I recommend not using ice, because the low temperature. So I'm gonna use not too cold, not too hot, just a nice little shower. And if you can see, the roots that are getting wet are turning green. You see that? Isn't that pretty amazing? Why? Because when these plants, these orchids grow on the bark of the trees, they're able to catch rainwater immediately because they don't have no soil. They don't have a medium or a soil that holds a lot of moisture for a very long time. So they have developed these roots that can um, absorb water pretty quickly. So I'm gonna leave it there for 10 seconds, 10 more seconds. You'll see that the water is to the top right there. Watch, and I'm gonna show you this. So you can go back to the video and see the time that has ran. But look at this. Wow, the roots are no longer white, they're green. So guess what? It's hydrated. Now the bark has a lot of airspace, so they don't get really wet for a very long time. And that's what you want. Now, as you can see, in the pot, I filled it to the top, but now it's like halfway. So I no longer need this water. Okay, I can toss that. So now that this plant is wet, I'm gonna let it drain for a bit to get that excess water out of there, because I see that the issue with so many people is they let their orchid stay wet for a long time. You want to make sure it dries out, because if it doesn't dry out, like I said, that excess moisture, the roots don't like that because they're used to just getting a quick shower, because the roots have adapted to their natural habitat and they just get quick showers. So this one, you can see it's still green, but it's kind of turning white. So this one's going to need water pretty soon. This one's green, so it has moisture. So is this one, just like I showed you. Sorry. Beautiful flowers. But anyway, that's how you water. It's pretty simple. Okay, that's it. Now I'm gonna let this. It's pretty good to learn the weight of your orchid when you just watered it. That way, not only is not only can you tell basically when your orchid needs water just by the visual, but by the weight. And I mean, pretty much this is the best way to water your orchids at home that you just bought at the grocery store. And the hardest thing I think is to decide, for you to decide, for you to know when to water this. But the best advice I think I could give you is, if the roots are white, you need to water. And if they're green, they can wait. Okay, I hope this video has helped you. I'm gonna be sharing next a video. My next video will be how to fertilize this. So basically, I bought a fertilizer that is meant for orchids on Amazon. So I will be making a video on how to fertilize. And if you guys have other questions, add comments. That way I know what you guys want to know, and I'll make a video. So let me show you. I'm gonna try to get this out without knocking it over. But see, you see that white fungus? I'm not alarmed by it. Oh shit, there's a spider. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. There's a spider there. Okay. So that one doesn't need water because it has moisture. Okay. So as soon as you get your orchid from the grocery store, take it out of your ceramic pot. Check the root color. And now you know how to water. If you leave your orchid inside the pot with water for too long, it's okay. Don't worry about it. As long as you take it out and let it drain to where no more droplets are coming out when you shake it from underneath, then you should be fine. And that's how you water your orchid. Um, we're already at 11 minutes, but anyways, I hope this helps. I don't want to make it too long. And like I said, any questions, comment, and I'll try to reply, and then I'll maybe even make a video explaining the answer to your questions. Okay, so I hope this helps, and see you next time. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching this video.